Alright, I've been meaning to make a video like this for a while. Um, and I have a little bit of time today. A lot of time. I took the day off. So I'm gonna do it now. Ever since I posted that storm that I made on Power Princess, and a bunch of other customs, my inbox is just blowing up with people asking advice and shit. And I try to give advice, but it's a lot. I saw somebody post in the group the other day why customizers are like gatekeeping and shit, and maybe some people might, but I know that for me, like, if once I answer one question like privately, like, it just doesn't stop. Every problem that person runs into, or if like I forget a fucking step, now they think I'm lying. It's a fucking lot. It's a lot. I don't have time for that shit. Um, but I've been meaning to make a video anyway, so I'm just gonna try to put as much in one video as I can. And yeah. Anyway, so some products. I have some of the products that I use. So you're gonna want to get an airbrush, and I'll give you some advice on airbrush in a little bit. But you're gonna want to get an airbrush. You're gonna want to get a dual action airbrush. What that means is you can push the button in and pull it out. So there's like a little bit of paint, or there's no paint when you just push just air, and then the more you pull back, the more paint comes out. You're gonna want to get one of those. And I will post a link. I've been making my own thinner and airbrush cleaner, and I'll post a little photo of my notes of how to do that. You're gonna want some acetone. I have some acetone. Or some nail polish remover. I use this a lot to dust my figures before I paint them. Because I have animals in the house and shit. Like you're not gonna want to fucking paint fucking shit into your figure. This is the primer I use. You can find it at AutoZone. It's acrylic. It is for like painting fabric, vinyl and fabric, like your seats, like your leather seats or whatever. It moves. So it's perfect for the soft plastic. You can technically use, I'm sure you know by now you want to use acrylic paints, but you can use like enamel on the hard plastics of these figures. But if you use it on this shit, it's just gonna be sticky and tacky and gross. So you're gonna want to use acrylic. This is the primer. And then there's also like your regular fucking primer that you get with your paint sets and shit. You can use that too. But this stuff fucking rules. So you want that to seal the figures, and more specifically, the storm that I made. I actually tried something a little different than I normally do. But anyway, I'm just gonna get into that storm, and I actually can't fucking find her right now. I looked all over. I don't know what to do with her. She's, as you can see, like. Anyway, and I did set aside a few figures that I've been getting questioned about a lot. Anyway, so with the storm, look. So get a Dremel, and I got some engraving bits. If you're looking in the Dremel section, you'll see it, engraving bits. They look like saw blades, but they're like not. You're gonna want to hit all this shit, all these points here. You're gonna want to hit is the ones you can, right? Just a little bit, so that the paint rub won't happen. On storm, I did not hit right here. I didn't hit inside this joint here, inside her shoulder. I didn't hit any of that shit with the Dremel. I just got her knees and her elbows, and that was it. You can't even get in here on her with the Dremel. You can't. But, so what I did is I hit her with this primer shit, and I took everything I could apart. Obviously, I couldn't take apart the elbows or knees, but I took the biceps off the shoulder. I took the shoulders off the torso. I was even able to take the flesh out of this on this part right here. You pop it off. The way I do that is with isopropyl alcohol. It breaks away glue. Pour a little on there. Get a little bit. If you do it by boiling, you can warp this. You can warp your piece. If that does happen, take the piece, put it back in boiling water, and it should go back to its original whatever. But I used alcohol. I just went over the sink, I poured some alcohol in, and I slowly pried it away. Anyway, so now I got all the parts prepped. I hit it with this shit, and I set it aside for the day. I just went and did other shit. I came back with my airbrush, and I hit it with this. This type of paint that you find at fucking Hobby Lobby is what I used. And with that, I used my thinner that I made. Boop. And I just put it in my airbrush. I did one coat, and I left it alone for the day. Then I came back, and I hit it with this shit. You can find it at Hobby Lobby. It's not Mr. Super Clear, which is another one I use all the time. But I sealed it with this. And then I left it alone for the day. And then I moved some of the joints around. And I hit the inside of the joints with the color. Left it alone for a whole 24 hours. And I just repeated that process until I felt it was done. After I did all this, there was no paint rub. None. On the inside of the shoulder here, down in there, it moves freely. Right here, it moves freely. No paint rub on the shoulder. No paint rub on the upper fucking thigh. No paint rub, even though I prepped right here. It's fucking good to go. And that's what I did. I sealed it with this shit after every coat. So that covers Storm. Hopefully that can help you. Some advice with the airbrush. Get you a bucket. This is a fucking 2.5 gallon bucket that I got from Home Depot. So what? Look, while you're painting, and I have this. I bought this, but I bought this long ago. Now I make my own airbrush cleaner. So while you're painting, don't ever put water out of the faucet in this shit. If you're from, I'm from fucking Central Texas. There's calcium in it. I don't know how many airbrushes I went through before I learned that it didn't matter how much I cleaned it anymore. There's fucking calcium in the tip, and it would like deter me from even wanting to touch my fucking paintbrush. I was like, fuck paintbrushes. Just over time, all they do is just fucking clog, and you can't. I have like a cleaning kit that I specifically bought. I bought other fucking tips that go in there and shit, and finally I learned that you're gonna want to use the water, the other water, whatever the fuck it's called. It comes in a jug. You fucking, I can't remember the name, but you know what I'm fucking talking about. And then ever since I did that, like I fucking love using my airbrush. Thin your paints, not with water out of the faucet. And so get your bucket. When you're done with your paint, pour it back into paint as much as you can. And then you come and you fucking spray the shit out of that over your bucket. Get all the paint out. And then get your little rag and spray the rest of it out. Sometimes, maybe once a week, I take my stuff off my airbrush and I just soak it overnight in alcohol. And that helps too. That's the best advice I can give, with the airbrush. It's great. It's great. Learn how to use tape. They sell tape that's super thin, and you can like make a circle with it. Like they sell that shit. It exists. So learn how to use that shit. Masking tape. Learn how to use the airbrush. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, another figure I get a lot of questions about is this one. I cracked the torso. And I instead of just putting this arm on here, and this is just a fucking cape that I fucking bought off eBay. I just bought it. There's fucking cable. Now if you look here, you can kind of see a little line. Boop. I was able to live with it, but, these come all the way off. This thing right here, you can just take it all the way off. What I did is I just sat there on my couch with an X-Acto knife and alcohol, and I just slowly started cutting until I was able to crack the torso. That's it. That's it. The Hercules came off. I fucking destroyed. Didn't have the patience for that shit. But I wanted this cable to look fucking good. That's what I did. Alright, these boots are just from someone else. They fucking pop on, pop off. You know, and that's that. Boom, there's cable. Emma Frost. So this is a cape I bought off eBay. These are magnets. Boop. And you can see the magnets. I still need to paint them. But, and then there's her titties. I ripped her cape off. And then there was holes, inlays in her titties. I have Aves Epoxy Sculpt. I don't know where it is right now, but get that shit off eBay. It's a 2-part epoxy clay. And then there's also, so get Aves, and then also green stuff. If you need something to be kind of malleable, there's another one called Procreate. It's malleable. There's Milliput that's not. It's just like Aves. But my brands that I use is Aves Epoxy Sculpt and green stuff. Those are the ones that I use. But it's really just preference. You know, you'll find them if you look. And all I did is I just filled her titty holes up as much as I could. I took a little magnet, and I got some kind of shitty magnets, but there's a bunch. There's this I bought. These are what's in her titties right now, and I doubled up. I put 2 in there. But then there's also these kind of magnets. I use these for like dioramas and shit, for like walls. If I want to put walls together, then, you know, I can't just have a diorama in my house, so I take it apart and put it in a drawer. And this is a variety pack. But I put the magnets in the titty holes, let the clay dry, and then I put clay over that, and then I just started painting with white. And I did a gloss overcoat. Now you can take all this apart as well. All of it. Every part of these figures you can take apart. It's just a matter of patience, really. So that's what I did with Emma. So now she has magnets in her titties. She has her little fucking cape that she can put on. I might redo this with better magnets. Those magnets I used kind of suck, but they serve their purpose, because when she's just sitting on the fucking shelf, that's good to go. Alright. Another figure I get asked about a lot is this Thanos right here. So again, it's Caliban top. This is clay. The bottom is from Thanos, the movie Thanos. A lot of the accessories are from the 12-inch Deadpool, including the hands. But again, a lot of this is just painting with an airbrush. When you do need to paint with a brush, it does happen, thin your paints. And that's it. You want to do real thin layers, and that's how you prevent brush marks. And it does. The price of your brush doesn't matter. It's the shape, really. You're gonna go through brushes. Just get over it. This gun is a 1/6 scale fucking grenade launcher. Like, I just went and bought a fucking expensive fucking gun. These are the grenades for it. You used to be able to pull this down, and there used to be a buttstock. I just took all that off and I glued this. And it still spins. But again, like, this is Warpath's fucking shoulder pad, and then this is clay. It's all clay sculpt, and this head's from Select Thanos. Everything else is from fucking Deadpool, the 12-inch Deadpool. End. That's it. And then this right here, I had to. This is also like a 2-scale real bandolier. This is a pain in the ass. Every link and every bullet in here is one piece. I had to put it all together with fucking tweezers. It took fucking forever, and I fucking hated it. I would never build this again. So for your thinner and your paint, if you are painting with a brush, another thing that you can get to make your paint last longer, get a wet palette. If you don't know what that is, look it up and you will see it. It's very self-explanatory. It keeps your paints wet and you can use them longer. So does this. Get some of this shit. I use this more for painting like 3D prints, like bigger statues. But it will make your paint, you'll get more mileage out of your paint. To make your paint thinner and your cleaner, your airbrush cleaner, this is some glycerin. Find it at fucking Walmart. And I'll post the ratios and shit for how to make it. Here's some reducer or some flow improver. Get some of this shit you can find at Hobby Lobby. This is some retarder, I think. I don't know. Get some of this. I'm pretty sure it's a retarder. God damn it. Focus. You can read that. I don't know. Can you read that? God damn it. Whatever. Get some of that. This is all the stuff I use. And then there's the water. What the fuck is it called? I can't think of it. And alcohol. 91% isopropyl alcohol. I always have a whole bunch on hand because that's what I use to clean my fucking 3D print, the resins. But that's like the best advice I can give. You know, there's nothing that I can say that can teach you. Like, I've been doing this for like 10 years. And then on top of that, like I build homes. I do remodel kitchens and shit. A lot of that translates over to some of this shit. I'm not trying to like gatekeep, but I don't feel like like there's some questions like it's just fucking figure it out. That's really just fucking figure it out. I can give you as much advice as possible. You know, always use acrylic paints. The ones that you find at Hobby Lobby also work. This is the paint that I had to use for Storm. I was having a hard time making the skin tone, so I just took Storm to Hobby Lobby and found this, and I thinned it as best I could, and I put it through my airbrush, and she fucking looks amazing. I really wish I could show her to you now. Oh, another piece of advice. So I made this guy. I painted this head. I bought this off a guy named Brandon in another group. He's the shit. But I bought, this was before I had a 3D printer. So I bought this head and he sent it to me. Learn with your airbrush, learn how to do layers. So what I did is I painted this black. And then I did red, but I thinned the fuck out of it. And I just let it almost transparent. I probably could have got away with using transparent red. That's what I did to the body. It's just black on top of transparent red. It's Venom with that fucking bull guy. And then in here, so these are his legs, and they're articulated. See that? In here is a screw. That is a screw. God damn it. That is a screw, and I grinded the shitty part off because it was long as fuck, and I just put clay in there, the green stuff, and now it just threads in, and that is how that works. I just created a joint where there wasn't one, and you just thread it. You just thread it in. Don't over thread it because it'll strip it. But yeah, just kind of do like a transparent layer with the actual skin tone, you know, black, and then very lightly with the airbrush is what I did on this, and then I'd use the screw to do that. Washes. One of the things, and I kind of fell into this on accident. So I made this Magneto a while back. The crevices here, that's not a wash. What I did, and I do washes sometimes, like actual wash, like very, very, very thin paint, or an actual wash that you buy from fucking whoever. But this is just paint. That's all it is. I clear coated this motherfucker with Mr. Super Clear. You can find this at Hobby Lobby too. This is Mr. Super Clear. This will be your best friend. Get it. So I clear coated it with Mr. Super Clear. Side note, this company also makes it clear. Get it. It's the shit. Anyway, I clear coated it, and then I took a brown paint, like a darker brown, and I barely thinned it, just like I would any other fucking paint. And I painted over this motherfucker with my brush, and then I wiped it away just like a wash. That's how I get this effect. Right here. I'm sure there's a better way. It's the one I know. It's the one I do. Sometimes when I do like a wash, it's not as bright or potent as I want. And when that is the case, I do this. I just use paint and pretend it's a wash. That's it. That's how I did that. That's how I did my Red Hulk. I have a Red Hulk that I posted in the group. And yeah, where washes fail, get you a bunch of these right here. Mix your paints in here. And then pour them. Walmart only had 3 ounces. I'm sure, if I could find 1 ounce, that would work better. But, you mix your paint in these fucking things with your thinner, and then just pour it into the airbrush. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I just pour the paint directly into the airbrush, put the thinner in there, hold this, and make the air bubble up in here. And that'll mix it too. When I'm like I'm just doing a little bit. But yeah, that's everything. That's how I made everything. That's it. Prep your fucking figures. Be patient. I get impatient a lot, and I want to just get a fucking cool figure out there. Sometimes I'm like, I want to make it before anyone else does, because I'm cool as shit. And then I just fuck up the figure. That's what I did with my first Storm that I made from Power Princess. Luckily, she fell off the shelf, and a dog ate her. So the second one, within the span of a week, just one coat at a time. Just be patient, and paint rub will go away, and then seal it. That's it. I hope this helps somebody.